the sticky, sticky swamp land of Florida. Gators, haters, masturbators. But I lived to tell the tale, and it was easily survivable. My life was never in danger. But I did live to tell the tale. This following podcast contains lasers that may trigger seizures in those with epilepsy or photosensitivity. Viewer discretion advised. This is Laser Show.
Pump up the volume, pump up the volume, pump up the volume, dance, dance.
Good day, good day. Good day, good morrow. Welcome to episode 28 of Laser Show. Just got back from Florida. Oh, I'm Ryan O'Flanagan. I'm your host, Ryan O'Flanagan. I forgot, I need to start saying that. I'm going to start saying my name. In case this podcast happens to just come on. You know? My name's Ryan O'Flanagan. I'm the host of Laser Show. It's the best podcast, dude. You're in for a treat. This podcast is so sick. And this is only episode 28. Like, you're getting in on the ground floor of what will soon be a huge, huge podcast. Where there's going to be thousands of episodes. I do want to someday have like a little studio and have guests. I guess I could just do that on my couch, but I don't really feel like doing that. I want it to like look good. Someday I'll have like a little studio. This podcast is going to be fucking sick looking. But anyway, episode 28. Oh man, first of all, I wanted to go ahead and apologize for episode 27. If anyone listened to my Carolina Panthers Best Bets episode. If you haven't listened to that episode, please don't. Please don't. I was wrong. I was optimistic, and I was wrong, and I was wrong. I gave out my best bets for the Carolina Panthers season, and they don't look like any of them, they don't look like they're going to do well. So I want to go ahead and just apologize for that wrong. Just ignore that. Just ignore it. I would say just ignore that episode. This episode is about my recent trip to Florida. Just got back from Florida. You know, there's some people back home in Massachusetts. Some people say Florida. Some people say some weird shit up there. Even beyond, though, with the accent. Some people say, like, bagels instead of bagels. Some cream cheese on that bagel. Just absolutely crazy horseshit like that. Bagels. Anyway, I just got back from Florida. I did a few shows down there. They were, man, I've always kind of had it out for Florida. Yeah, I'll admit it. Hey, look, I'll admit it. I've always found the place to be utterly disgusting. But I had a pretty good trip. I thought it was, I really enjoyed Florida more than I ever have. I'll give it that. This was my favorite Florida trip I've ever had, I'll say. I guess that's not true. I went to Disney World when I was in 4th grade. And I met this huge fucking mouse guy. It was this giant like mouse, and he had a wife. But they were just like people in costumes. They were just dressed as like huge mice. That was a weird fucking week. That was actually, interestingly, Disney World. I went when I was 9 years old, and that's where I first discovered croissants. And to this day, like, I never stopped, like, loving croissants, dude. But I remember having croissants. To this day, it's probably the best croissant I've ever had. But I was also my first, so what do I know? I've definitely had better ones. But my first, they had this little lodge place where we would go get breakfast every day in Disney World. And I had a croissant every day, and I just fucking changed my life. So buttery and flaky. So moist and buttery and flaky. Aren't they just the best? They must be terrible for you or something. How can they taste that good? It's crazy. They must be so bad. Anyway, since then, this was my favorite Florida trip. I had 3 shows. And listen, when I tell you I haven't or done a set headlining in 3 months. And that's a really long time. And boy, was I rusty. And I knew I would be. It went well, though. I did a headline like a month ago, but I got a little too drunk, and the crowd was also a little too drunk. They were worse. It was their fault, but I didn't do any jokes. I did none. It was not the kind of crowd that's like do joke. They were going like 3 seconds at a time mentally. You couldn't do a bit. I could have, but I didn't. But anyway, so I haven't done the whole headlining set of my material in like a while, and I got a bunch of new stuff too that I don't think is It has the potential to not be good at all, and a couple of them sure weren't. But anyway, my first show was in I flew into Miami. Okay, are you guys paying attention? I flew into Miami, nasty place, and I get my rental car, and I drove all the way from Miami to Naples because you guys know how I do. Hey, Laserheads, you know how I do. I like to start a trip where it's gonna end, and then I can just drop off that rental car. So I flew into Miami overnight, red eye, then drove to Naples. That's on the other side. So Miami's at the bottom right, and Naples is on the bottom left of Florida. So it's like a 2.5 hour drive, and you got to drive on this area of Florida. They call it Alligator Alley or Gator Alley. People call it that, and it's swampland, and it's also the Everglades. You drive through the Everglades. I guess I realized I had no idea where the Everglades were. I assumed the Everglades, because they're all fucking wet, I assumed they were part of, like, the ocean. I thought they would be off the coast. Or on the coast. Not really, no, they're just in the middle. Bunch of swampland right there in the middle, the Everglades. Alligator Alley. And I saw dead alligators on the side of the road. That's pretty crazy. I think I would have to assume they got hit by a car. Or maybe someone had it in their car and they shot it. They got into an argument and they shot it and dumped it out the side of the road. But I'm assuming that the dead alligators I saw were hit by cars because they had big chunks taken out of them. Oh, I could see some of their insides. These gators. Ain't no shot to the head gonna do that. So I drive through Alligator Alley. It's 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Then I get to my first show was in Naples. Naples. And if you guys don't know Naples, let me tell you, it's the golf capital of the United States. It has the most golf holes per capita in the United States, Naples does. So there's a lot of white folk and lame black folk, but mostly white folk. And this place, dude, it is money, money, money. They have a street called Millionaires Row. And it's a whole just strip along the beach that's all mansions. It's one of those kind of towns. It's got a street says how much money you make. Yeah, I live on I don't want to say how much I make, but I did just got a place on Millionaires Row. And everyone's lawn is so perfect. It was crazy. It was green. It was so lush and green. Maybe being in this LA drought for too long is really fucked with my head. Because I don't think I've ever seen grass that green before. Oh, I was on acid. No, just kidding. I was very tired. But it was sometimes when you're that tired, it's kind of like tripping on fucking acid, dude. Dude, you guys ever get super fucking tired and then just drive to Naples? Dude, you get there and the grass is fucking so green. It's like you're half dreaming. But it was a little unsettling. It was a beautiful place, but it looked like no fun. And the club was in a strip mall, and the club was pretty cool. And they're open 7 nights a week, a comedy club, in this rich fucking golf town. And it's all white people, and they're all rich. That's not true. I don't know. Everything I saw, I don't know if there's a hood. I don't know if Naples has a hood. Raples. That's what they would call it, I'd imagine. Do I live in Naples? Oh, you live in Naples? Well, technically I live in Raples. I'm not doing that great. I guess I'll stop saying that word on my podcast. Anyway, I do this show, and I find out that the people that work there, you got to meet Phil. Phil is our bartender, and Phil is the one who got you here. The bartender says, this is the story I was told. The bartender is like, hey, can I please get a comedian that I want here? And apparently what he was saying was, you guys never let me have a comedian that I want. Let me ask for one comedian who's my favorite. They said, all right, you can have one comedian, and we'll book them on like a Tuesday. And he said, I want Ryan O'Flanagan. So it was this guy, Phil, who's from Brockton, Mass, of all places. I got a TV from Brockton once. Brockton's a shithole. It is the Raples of Massachusetts. It's one of the worst neighborhoods in Massachusetts. But this guy was cool as hell. And so I was there because of him. And there was maybe like 45 people there. and they were cool. It was a Tuesday night. And boy, I was rusty as hell. I didn't feel that great. But it takes a couple of shows to get back into the groove. Uh, but it was fun. The crowd was very great for a Tuesday. 45 people out on a random ass Tuesday night, and they were having a good time. And then a couple of let's see if I have any notes. I wrote some notes. Okay. Oh, a girl told me after the show that I thought there would be more people. I said, okay, yeah, there wasn't. Yeah, there wasn't. Oh, this place, I mean, it's a club. They do it up right, this place. They're like, I'm sure when they get like on the weekends and they get like big comics in, it's probably so sick. They've had big names. They had like Norm Macdonald there and stuff. Get some big ass names. That's big to me. That's my favorite comedian. So that's what I mean when I say they get some big ass people in there. So I had to sign a little like just a little picture, I guess, with like my face on it, and it says like it's like Ryan O'Flanagan this night, September whatever, 2024. It's a picture of me, and then they want me to like sign it, and then they raffle that off at the end, and it's just like this tiny like 8-inch, even less, dude. It's probably like 6 or 7-inch long little picture of me, little placard almost. It's like about the size of a placard, I would say. And I signed it in a silver Sharpie. And I said, thanks for coming. And they were like, yeah, thanks. So sign that. And then at the end of the show, we're going to come back on and we're going to raffle that off. And someone just won that. And I told them about the show, I was like, hey, someone's going to win this like little picture of me. And it's like, so if you win, maybe I felt bad that I was making fun of the club, but I was like, if you win that, I'll give you a koozie. Because it's really just a tiny little picture of me that says, thanks for coming, and I signed it. What the hell would you want that for? Especially if you're not, maybe if you're a huge fan, that's okay, but other than that, that's just probably going to go right in the trash. We're just going to like a stack of papers. So I said, I'll give you a koozie. So I did. Some girl wanted it, and I gave her a koozie at the end. And a couple of my friends that I've mentioned in this podcast several times now, shout out Brian and Vera, they came to see me in Naples, and that's now their 4th state they've seen me in. So, hey, you think you're a big fan, you need to step your shit up, and I expect you to. I expect all of you listening to step your game up and bring me some gifts. Comment on the Instagram, made it to the Elk. Bring me a Fabergé egg. I gave another fan my address today. Hey, shout out Big Mike. He's like, hey, I got a gift for you. Can I just send it to you? Because you're not coming to Arizona. You got an address I can send it to? And I was like, dude, you know what? Here's my address. I hung out with you and I drank beers with you all night one night, and you're a cool guy. I'll give you my address. It's just that easy. Come over, dude. All of you, come over. I love hosting a party. I guess I should talk about my Florida trip. So Brian and Vera, they've now seen me in 3 different states. They live in Florida, though. Not only did they come to see me in the 4th state for them, they also came 2 days later to see me again. So but they always hang. They like to drink, That'd be weird if they came and did that, then they just didn't hang after. They party with me. Because I'm a good-ass hang. The show, who knows? But boy, do we have a good time after. Don't we, folks? Hey, come on. Anyone listening to this podcast, you hung out with me after? Hey, didn't we have good times? It's never a bad time. Drinking rules, don't it? Hurts, don't it? We went out after. Just went to it was in Naples, so there wasn't anywhere great to go. We went to just like one of those chain bars. God, I can't remember the name of it. It's kind of like a Buffalo Wild Wings style sports bar. That's the name for it. But it's a standalone sports bar, but there's a few of them. A chain. I forget what it's called. Anyway, went there, got drinks. Next day, I got myself a little off day. Whoa. Man, I've been getting more and more flies in my apartment. Full-blown flies. I don't like it. You know what I do when I have a fly in my apartment? Can I just tell you just real quick, then I'll get right back to it. I need to tell you what I do when I have a fly in my apartment. I have it's essentially Raid is what it is. It's fly spray, but that's not what it's an off-brand. And I'll try to spray the fly. A lot of times I'll spray the fly, and it'll fly around a little bit, and eventually it'll die, and I gotta just try to hear it. Gotta hear where it lands, because it's gonna be on the ground going spinning in circles. It's kind of fucked. I try to kill it as fast as I can, because they just go nuts, huh? Man, what that must feel like. Like Joffrey. Joffrey on Game of Thrones knew what it felt like to be a fly and get sprayed with fly poison. Man, fully getting poisoned. Don't do it to me. Don't do it. Fuck off. Don't be a smart aleck and poison me. You listen to this podcast and go, oh, I listen to the podcast. I said, wait to the elk. I did this, and then guess what? I poisoned you. Because I listened. Don't be a smart aleck. Don't poison me. I'm super, super broke. Dude, if I went to the hospital right now, well, I'd be ruined. I'd be financially ruined, and I guess I would have to move home. So please don't poison me. Anywho, so the next day, let me just check my notes here. Naples, perfect lawns, yep. When I was driving on the highway on the Alligator Alley, and it's just like 2 lanes for a super long time, and it says like 55 miles an hour is the speed limit, but everyone's going like 80. And it's only 1 lane, so you got to go as fast as them. And you're like, all right, I guess we're just going to go 80. And then some people are going way faster, and they'll go around. Oh, my God. I did that a couple times. I was like, well, if we're all doing it, we're all going 40 miles an hour over the speed limit. We're all going 40 miles an over the hour limit, is what I meant to say. But anyway, I got stuck behind this guy for a long time, and I got to look at this picture. I got to get the phrasing right. I was driving behind this guy for fucking 2.5 hours, and the back of his car said, repent or die twice. And I will put this on the Instagram post of this podcast if you want to see this picture. You're going to want to see it. It says repent. Well, it says reapin', and then the T is tiny. It's off to the side, and it looks like he tried to save it by making the T a cross, but I think he didn't have enough room to do like a big T, so he did like a small cross. Because you can just make the cross the size of what the T would be. This fucking idiot. Repent in huge letters, or die in much smaller letters, and then in the biggest letters of all, twice. What the hell does that mean? Repent or die twice. So you're going to die either way, right? So then if you don't repent, then you die and you go to hell, and then the devil kills you? Because if that's what happens, I'm going to fucking repent. Imagine getting killed by the devil. I bet he does it so good. It's probably the worst way possible, man. Probably make you like watch your friends die and shit. That's like the worst shit. He'd fucking put your friends right in front of you and crush their heads. Anyway, I was driving behind this guy for a while. So I thought that was pretty cool and interesting. And then, so after Naples, I drove up to, I have a free day. And I spend the day doing a little project that'll be announced soon. I have a announcement coming soon. So look out for that. I'll be making an announcement in the next couple of weeks, I guess. I'll try to do it in the next couple of weeks. But I did this project, and then I just spent the night in Tampa. I stayed in some stupid neighborhood. It was so hot, man. I just don't get how and no shade and no hate, no shade. But I don't get how people can live in Florida. I find it disgusting, the humidity. And they don't seem to care at all. No one seems to care. And that's cool, because if I didn't care, then I would probably just love Florida. And I have great times. I had a great time, other than just feeling really gross when you're outside. But I guess you're not really outside that much. You're mostly inside in the air conditioning most of your life. But it's still it's so yucky. But anyway, I spent the day in Tampa, and I went to this hotel. I went to this Holiday Inn in I don't know, somewhere in Tampa. And they had a pool, and it was right next to a TJ Maxx. And I got to this hotel at about 3 o'clock, and I thought to myself, dude, I can just go to. I have a free night. I love a free night. Woo wee! They're not good for the finances, but they're great for the mind. Just get everything all organized and shit. I love having a free ass night. Do whatever I want. So you know what I wanted to do? I want to go to TJ Maxx. I went to TJ Maxx. I got one of the coolest shirts I've ever gotten. I brought it home. I busted it out the other night at one of my classic after parties at my apartment. Dude, it was a hit. It's a zip-up polo. A zip-up polo. And it looks really cool. I actually posted it on my story recently when I was in the cowboy hat. If anyone saw that. It's a really nice shirt. I'm going to be wearing it so much. Anyway, I did that, and I got a pair of black pants that I thought would look nice with them. Those pants are also in that picture. Maybe I'll just post that. I'll just post that picture of me in the cowboy hat. Put that on my Instagram. Make sure you go to that Instagram, like and subscribe, and say that you made it to the elk. Only if you make it to the end of this podcast can you say that you made it to the elk. Okay? And and then I went into the hotel pool. Oh, it was lovely. It was really hot. It damn near burned the bottom of my feet walking around the pool. And I went in the pool in my gym shorts. I was almost gonna buy a bathing suit at TJ Maxx. Then I was like, you don't need to buy a whole new bathing suit. You're gonna go in this pool for fucking 3 minutes. Now I wasn't for longer than 3 minutes. I was fucking just cruising around. Then I laid out and I listened to my podcasts. And I laid out in the sun. And then I just had a nice night, so I went into Ybor City. That's a cool little party neighborhood in Tampa. And I went there. I've been there before once in the daytime, never in the nighttime. I wanted to go see that nighttime. And boy, was it something else. This is a big, like on the weekend. So this is a Wednesday night is when I went. On the weekend, this place gets out of control. It's like Bourbon Street. That's what I would equate it to. Cobblestone streets or sidewalks or neither. Maybe I'm completely making this up. You'll never know. But there's like pretty much every bar is open. Not all of them are like doing all that well. I got there pretty early. Had 2 huge slices of pizza. I saw this police officer leaving this pizza place. I thought to myself, I'll go down there and I'll just walk around and I'll find somewhere to eat and then I'll go to a bar. Watch some sports. And I saw this police officer leaving this pizza place. Big, portly, fat piece of shit, loser pig. And he had a box of pizza from this place. And I thought, well, that big, fat fucking asshole got that whole pizza from this place. This place must be good. And if this Nazi fuck likes this pizza. So I got I went in there and I got 2 huge slices of pizza. They honestly made me sick. It was so much pizza. But I was high. So I ate a lot of it, and then I went to a few different bars. First, I just walked down the street. Man, most bars are just like not happening except for this one place called, speaking of Bourbon Street, it was called Fat Tuesday. It was like a New Orleans bar. This place was like popping off. Everything else was like pretty chill. Nothing else was, So I was walking around, then I walked past this big fucking venue. This is like at the outskirts of like where the bars are still open. And then it gets into just like shops in the neighborhood. And, it's kind of the last, right before the end. And it's like this bumping huge venue with this DJ on stage. And they have a sign outside, one of those easel signs. And it's like house music all night. And I walked past it and it's just loud bumping house music with a DJ. But there's just like 6 or 7 people in there. And they're all just like sitting at tables, just politely like watching. And the lights are pretty bright in there. It's very just like a big sterile place. No, not sterile. But it was just big and like all the walls were white. And the DJ was just having a great time, just dancing, fucking getting the party started. He was just happy that there were people there. But there was a couple of people eventually, like occasionally would get up and like dance. But it was just like a little awkward. I was just like sitting. I went in and I was like, you know what? I'll fucking hang out with these people. And I went and I just sat at a table. and I had six. I had 6 beers. No, I had 2 beers. Delicious IPAs. And I went to the bathroom to go to the bathroom to piss and to piss my piss out, to piss all my piss out that I had been holding. And I washed my hands, no big deal. And then when I got a bunch of paper towels, and then when I go to throw away the paper towels, I couldn't figure out the trash can. I couldn't get it open. The fucking foot thing wouldn't work. And then I was trying to fucking open it on the top with my fingers, and I couldn't. It was like fucking just too hard to do. And just like gross. I don't want to get in that deep. And I couldn't fucking open the top of it. You know, it's... I start to go back into the... and I'm going to go into the stall. Maybe I could just throw it in the toilet. But it's a big wad of toilet paper. I don't want to throw that in the toilet. So I just put it in my pocket, and I just went back to the bar. And I just got a second beer, and I just sat there and drank that second beer with this big, just a wad of paper towels in my pocket because I couldn't figure out the trash can. So I don't know. I don't know if this life is right for me. But anyway, I go to that bar, and I leave that bar. I go outside. I throw out the paper towels, and then I go to Fat Tuesday actually, and I was like, this place was popping off. And I walk in, and they have a bouncer, and he's got to like pat me down, and he's patting me down, and he feels this like, he jingles my keys in my pocket, and I take my keys out, and I go, oh, sorry, I forgot about my keys. And I thought he was trying to turn me around to like pat me from behind, so I started turning, and he whipped me back. He grabbed my shoulders and whipped me, and he goes, you can't move. And I was like, sorry. I got yelled at. He looked at me, he like put his hands out to be like, stop moving. Then he looked at me and he goes, you can't move. Oh my God, I was like, got it. I'm so over this, man. What do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to spin? I'm going to spin into fucking do a big spinning roundhouse kick? I'm spinning so that you can pat me down. You fucking idiot. You can't move. What if you just pulled a gun on me? What if I got my brains blown out like those alligators on the side of the road? Gone the way of the gator, they would have said about me. But I go into Ruby Tuesday, and boy is the bartender this beautiful woman with big juicy tits, black woman. Boy was I obsessed. She thought I needed something. I was staring too much. I was like, the guy already served me, but I was just looking at her. She's like, you need something? I was like, oh, no, sorry, no, nope. Looking at the TV. And the TV was just the menu. So there wasn't anything to look at. They weren't playing any sports or anything. I just kept reading the menu. I didn't know where else to look. I was the only white person in this whole place, which is, it's scary. You know, it's not that cool and fun. It's actually pretty scary. I felt like I didn't belong at all. Now, people were having a good time. There was like some karaoke going on. I didn't feel loved. I didn't feel welcomed there. I left after I got one tiny light little beer and got out of there. I said thank you. Thank you to the guy that fucking yelled at me as I left. What a pussy I am. Oh, thank you. And then I went to the best bar of the night, folks. One last bar. Then I gotta call it, of course. I go to this bar, Double Decker, and it's just like 12, 14 people in there doing karaoke. And I went in. Chill vibes, just chill vibes. I'll watch someone do karaoke. A couple people do karaoke, then I'll leave. That's something that you don't feel that alone. You can go and like watch karaoke, and you can kind of like sing along, and no one can tell that you're by yourself. Yeah, they can. But you feel like more of a part of a community. You don't feel so, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with my hands. I don't know what to look at when you go to a bar by yourself. But I love going to bars by myself because I love drinking. And I love situations like this where one guy goes on stage, sings this random-ass song. And he walks off stage and I give him a pound. I said, good job, dude. And he goes, that's just drunken karaoke, man. And then later in the night, just moments later, I went to the bar and ended up next to him. And then he was like, we started talking, and then we just became friends. And I met him, and his name was Reg, and I met him and his friend Bill. I assumed gay lovers, these men, and they came. They ended up coming to my show the next day. What nice guys. Asked me what I'm doing in town. I'm a comedian here for a show. They go, hey, we'll go. They're like, you don't believe us, do you? I was like, actually, I do. I actually do believe you guys. I could tell these were just nice dudes. And that's what you get sometimes when you just go to a bar alone like a goddamn alcoholic. You make two new friends and they help at your show. You gotta go bark. You gotta go out there and bark for your own shows. So they came to the show the next night in Wesley Chapel, Florida. And that is a suburb of Tampa. Excuse me while I just have a little bit of water. I can feel it. There it goes. There goes my voice. I can't talk for that long, huh? I just have a weak-ass voice. Oh, yeah. Oh, God, Jesus, I'm so thirsty. All right, yeah, that's better. I go to Wesley Chapel. This show, I kid you not, it's in a movie theater. This is called Side Splitters Comedy Club. It's in a full-blown movie theater, which I thought was like an old movie theater that they turned into like a comedy club. But it's just a big functioning movie theater, like a huge movie theater that you might see a big AMC with some like arcade games in the front, and then just a hallway of different theaters that say the movie that they're playing. Big old theater, and then one of the theaters just says Side Splitters Comedy Club, as though it were the movie playing. Then you walk in and it's just a regular movie theater. Big movie theater. With a stage, and a mic, and a stool. And, who knows, maybe about 50 people or so came to that. And let me tell you, best show of the weekend. Awesome time. Plenty of fans came out. I met some big fans. Girl in the front row wearing an IRS shirt that she had just ordered, and it just arrived that day just before the show, and she cropped it. Second fan to wear an IRS shirt at the front row of my show. Oh boy, am I just at the tippity top of this industry? Or am I not? That's pretty damn cool. That made my night, and you're damn right we hung out all night. And her boyfriend, her husband, works. He's a football coach, but he does like some like analytics. He helps people. He helps analytics guys with their analytics. He's good with analytics, and he knows the inside scoop on some of these NFL guys. And so he told me a little bit about one guy that's a pervert. Heard about this one guy. I'm not gonna say who. But this guy's like a real person. Perverts in the NFL. That's such a funny word, pervert. You pervert! God, I would hate to be screamed at in public and called a pervert loudly. That would suck, huh? You fucking pervert! Oh no. I would have to go, oh no. This must be a misunderstanding. Anyway, we go out all night. That day, by the way, in Wesley Chapel, I went to a restaurant. I got lunch at a place called Chicken Fun. And I got this chicken and rice bowl. Oh, it was delicious. All the reviews were correct at Chicken Fun. Everyone said big portions. I mean, big portions. You're going to get your dollar's worth. And I went to Chicken Fun, and man, they gave me so much. I had some to take home even. In my microwave. In my blue hotel. I stayed at a completely blue hotel called the Spot X. X marks the spot is their slogan. All right. I don't really get it. Spot X. It seems like they needed to name it Spot X and they had to give it a slogan. X marks the spot. Why don't you just call it the X marks the spot hotel? Spot X. But anyway, that day I went to Chicken Fun, then I went and got ice cream by myself. Sometimes I like just treating myself to just like an ice cream cone. And there's something about it. It's very lonely. It's a very lonely thing to do. But it was a hot day. Here's a hot take A hot take on a hot day. I think hot days are actually the worst days to get ice cream. I think fall days are the best day to get ice cream. God damn, even a winter day for fuck's sake. But not a hot day. I mean, this ice cream, when I tell you this ice cream was running down my arm, coating my hand and definitely my face in chocolate ice cream. And it was just me. I was by myself sitting there just licking this chocolate ice cream. It was chocolate ice cream, soft serve, with Oreo sprinkles. I got it by myself. I think ice cream should be free if you're just alone and you're a 36-year-old man. I think they should just be like, just take it, man. Don't have to do this like transaction. Just get out of here, dude. It's like, no, I want to sit. I'm going to sit on this purple table, eat my ice cream. Then this woman and her daughter come up and they get ice cream and they set the table right next to me. And they're perpendicular to each other. So my table, I'm just sitting completely facing them. And they're like sideways. I'm just facing them, looking at them. My sunglasses. Sorry, I'm trying to just look away. Sorry, I'm just facing you directly, just licking this ice cream cone. Anyway, the show in the movie theater was sick. And then I wrapped up the week in Miami. I went down to Miami. Oh, boy. So I drove from Wesley Chapel, which is right outside of Tampa, all the way to Miami. It's north of Tampa, Wesley Chapel is even. So that's like a 5.5-hour drive, something like that. It was about like a 5-hour drive. Maybe a little bit more even. Took all day. You just drive through the middle of the state. It's kind of beautiful. It's like farm. It's not. No, it's not. I do love like shit, but I also can acknowledge that it is shit. I love a place that's just kind of barren and like sad looking. Like the drive from LA to Vegas, just fucking barren and sad looking. But that's kind of cool in a way. It's kind of cool in a way. So this was kind of cool in a way. Because I guess because I've never seen the middle of Florida before. I've only ever been to the coasts of Florida. And I drove across the middle of it twice. Back and forth. And it was a long one. It's okay. It's not that bad. There's some nice like farms and stuff. There's some nice grass, very green. That's cool. And so I got to Miami and I have a show at this place called the Villain Theater that my friend Joey Greer set me up with out here. Thank you, Joey. He is from Miami and he said he tagged Villain Theater and he goes, Villain Theater, you gotta book this guy. He's gonna be in Florida. And they just booked me. How nice of them. They even gave me the Friday night slot, which is like a big time slot. And hopefully I didn't let them down. Because I was very grateful. Very cool theater. If you're in the Miami area, that place is cool. They do comedy shows. They also do like drag shows. They do all sorts of stuff. They have stuff going like every night. Check out the Villain Theater. I did my show. It was cool. The same two people came that came the day before. Brian and Vera. Thank you for coming, Brian and Vera. Their fucking fourth time seeing me this year. And I haven't written that many jokes. But this set went better than the set in Naples that they saw, I think. This was I had gotten my practice. It just takes a couple times and you kind of get back on the horse. Can you believe if you take 3 months off of doing comedy, you're just like kind of rusty? It would be so cool if like that didn't happen. Just would not worry about it. But yeah, every time I take a long break, I'm like, fuck, this is gonna be a rough intro. It wasn't rough. I was just a little off, forgetting shit. But anyway, the show at the Villain Theater was sick, and afterwards they do a drag show, and I stayed for a little bit of the drag show, and that was great. That one was like packed, much more packed than my show. My show was certainly not, I would call it not packed, but hopefully they still felt like it was worth it. Hope I didn't take a prime slot on a Friday night and give them a whatever kind of show. But the people that were there, they were fun. They were fun enough. They had a good enough time. Then I go to the drag show. Then afterwards I go to Wynwood with my two friends. I go to the Wynwood district, which is the fun, hip part of Miami. It's where all the kids go, and it's a Friday night, so we went out on the town. We went to like a couple cool bars. We were just bopping around, playing it by ear, having a good ass time. And went to some clubs. Oh man, we went to this club that had like. Well, I went to this one place that I went last time I was in town. They had like a Taylor Swift party, and I was like, I guess I'll go. I don't know what else is going. I can't get into anything else. That was the only like free thing, and I went to it. And then you can go into the bar, but then the party's like in the back. There's like an outdoor area, and then to get through there, then you have to like buy a ticket to that. I was like, oh, I thought this was a fucking free thing. So I had to just sit at the bar when everyone was like outside dancing. That's fine. I don't like Taylor Swift at all. It's just something to do. But anyway, so went back to this place, and they were having no themed party. I went to the bathroom, and I was like peeing next to this guy, and I couldn't tell if it like smelled good in there. I was like, am I tripping, or is it like, I feel like it smells pretty good. It's kind of like, is it just like piss and I'm just being weird, or is it like firewood? It's a little smoky, or did someone just take like a smoky piss? Sometimes you think the trash, like, will smell good or something like that. But then I asked the guy next to me. I was peeing next to this guy, and I went, hey, man. I was like, hey, dude. Like, am I tripping, or does it smell like kind of good in here? And I guess that's a weird thing to say. Yeah, I don't think that's that weird. And the guy was like, honestly, I wasn't thinking about the smell. Okay. Yeah, neither was I. I wasn't thinking about it. Fucking twerp. I just know. I guess, no, yeah, I was. I was thinking about it and didn't know how to bring it up. But you don't have to have been thinking about it. Just give it a sniff and then give me an answer. Fucking dumb shit. Just go, yeah, no, it does smell good. Because guess what? That guy walked away and I felt like a proper ass. Then the guy in the stall goes, it's sage, bro. And I was like, it's sage? And he was like, yeah, they were lighting sage in here. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So you don't think that first guy I talked to could have been like, yeah, it's like good, it smells like something. It's sage has such a strong smell. The guy just goes, I wasn't thinking about the smell. Oh, you weren't? The smell of sage in this bathroom? You hadn't noticed? Get lost, twerp. Then we went to another bar that we thought was a bar, and then they were just serving kava. It was kava. And we were looking at their menu. It's like mushroom kava. And they were just like, do you guys want alcohol? And we were like, yeah. And they're like, oh, no, we're kava. I was like, what the fuck is kava? Is it like Java? Korean Java? Is that why they call it kava? Anyway, that place sucked. We went to another place that was completely empty, and it was like this big outdoor place, big outdoor bar. It's called like The Deck down there in Wynwood. And we walked in, and there was like no one there. And then they straight up, my friends, they asked like the guy that worked there. They're like, where is everybody? And the guy was like, well, it rained. And that's true. It did rain earlier that night. And then he goes, and then also people, they just paid rent. And this was on September 13th. And he goes, yeah, people just paid rent, so people aren't really coming out. What? Is that when they pay the rent in Miami? Rent is due on the 12th. Anyway, then we were walking down the street at one point, and there's this guy giving wristbands out. He goes, skip the line, free entry. We were like, let's just stop and get these wristbands, and then if we want to go, we'll go. Let's go walk by it. And if it's cool, we'll go in. And he was saying the name of this bar, this cool bar. Electric Lady. He was like, Electric Lady, right there. Go to Electric Lady, then go to the left. Go to Electric Lady, then go to the left. So we thought he was telling us, we're going to go to Electric Lady. There's an entrance on the left, which is because Electric Lady's got this long line. And we're like, oh, we're getting in like a VIP entrance with these wristbands. And we go to Electric Lady, and we show the guy a wristband, and he goes, yeah, over there. And he points to this door, and it's just the bar next door. And it's like it's a sick spot. It's this big outdoor like dance thing, and they are connected, but it's a completely separate business that does not have a line around the door. But I thought it was pretty fun. It was like this big like outdoor club with like a giant LED screen, and then we got in and they took our wristbands. They like ripped them off. They ripped our wristbands off and threw them out, and those wristbands just got us into this bar next door. And we tried to go into the Electric Lady, and they're like, no, you can't come in. That's a different bar. So that guy is advertising this bar going, we're like, what's it for? And he goes, go to Electric Lady, and then go to the left. Okay. But it was a great time. They had like smoke machines, like the ones that blow really fucking hard. Check out I'll put it on the Instagram. This guy got fucking rocked. I don't know if I'm going to have, Instagram lets you put a bunch more posts now. So I'll probably be able to fit it. This guy got rocked by a smoke machine, dude. He looks like he almost falls over. There was this couple this girl was super drunk, and this guy, her boyfriend, was like walking behind her, like holding her up, like his hand was like on her hips, and he was just like walking with her, guiding her, making sure they were like leaving the bar. And I thought it would have been so funny to join the back of him, like I thought it was a conga line. And then I go, oh, I'm so sorry. He's like, no, she's throwing up. Fuck. I thought it was I'm sorry, dude. I thought it was a conga line. So embarrassed. I just go and I sit with my head in my hands. I thought it was a fucking conga line. And I was going, ba, 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 ba. Hey, dude, hey, bro. She's sick. Oh, fuck. Sorry. Also, another thing dude, I forgot to tell you this. After the show, hey, I sold my second ever Ryan O'Flanagan's. I went inside Ryan O'Flanagan's juicy ass, and all I got was this lousy t-shirt. I sold my second one. The first one went to my friend John Horan, and I want to apologize to John Horan. I slandered him on this podcast and said that his bets were foolish and he shouldn't have taken them, and he was right and I was wrong. Oh, it's not looking good. Ooh, John's going to get $100 from me. And I'm going to get I haven't told you guys about this. I have a bet with my friend Tim. He's a Patriots fan, where Panthers and Patriots are pegged to perform poorly this year. The two worst teams in the league we were projected to be. And we made a bet. Whoever's team gets less wins, they get a septum piercing. And they got to wear it for a month. We made that bet. Seemed more fun before I watched these Panthers play, because it's so clear from the first drive of the season that I'm getting a septum piercing. We ain't winning any games, and the Pats already won a game. So, guess I'm going to be getting a septum piercing. Anywho, $100 coming your way, John Horan and Josh Sherman. Good little bet you made there. You were right, I was wrong, but we shall see, won't we? Maybe Andy Dalton will turn this ship around, and boy, will I laugh. Anywho, I met this guy after my show, and he goes, do you sell those shirts? I go, no, you got to buy them online. He goes, all right, I'm going to buy one. Super nice guy. Evan. What's up, Evan? Big fan, came out talking afterwards, following you for a while now. And super nice guy. Took a picture. And Evan, you said the funniest thing I've ever heard. I know he's listening. Guarantee it. Dude's a big fan. He goes, dude, I gotta ask you. It's like, you're like rich, right? I was like, bro, okay, so maybe he doesn't listen to this podcast. I was like, rich? Dude, I am so broke. I just sold my car. I'm thinking about getting a job at Quiznos. That would actually be pretty sick. I truly might. Anyway, he goes, you're rich, right? I was like, no. What do you mean? He was like, he's like, all your videos are so funny. I'm like, that's the nicest thing to say. Totally misguided, Evan. You're way off, dude. He's like, you should be getting so much money for those. They're so funny. Like, don't the views get you money? I'm like, no, bro. Dude, that fucking falling down a hill proposal fake video I put out a few months ago in April. And that went viral. That got 50 million views. It's on Fail Army. It's on Memesar. I've made like $200 from that. And that's how much you get paid for getting. That's got like fucking 50 million views. So I don't know how people are rich off this shit. I don't get it. They monetize. Who's got time for that? I just want my shit on Fail Army. I want my sketches to be on Fail Army. I want to do sketches that are so bad that they end up on Fail Army. Dude, what if I put out a comedy special on Fail Army? Streaming exclusively on failarmy.com, the Fail channel. Ah, oh, that's a great idea. Anyway, I thought that question was very funny. You should be getting paid. Aren't you? You're rich, right? Do I seem rich? That's cool. I would love to seem rich. I really don't think I seem rich. You can't have a brain like this. Oh, that guy must be rich. He has no idea what he's talking about. Oh, he's such an artist. God, the way he just confuses words and loses his train of thought. He must be focused on the money. He must just be thinking about his money all the time. And that's why none of the rest of his brain works. Fuck. I'm glad you see it that way, Zach. I also learned. So I'm just reading my notes here of things I wanted to remember to talk about. I learned about the Vera, who came out with me, one of my friends there, taught me about the stages of the ladybug, and she used to like grow ladybugs. And I encourage you all to look up the life stages of a ladybug. It blew my mind. They turn into little alligator looking things, long gator looking tails, weird Pokemon looking things. Ooh, check out the stages of a ladybug. Butterfly is not as interesting. You get it. Caterpillar, cocoon, butterfly. But these ladybugs, dude, what the hell? I will include that on the Instagram post. Don't even worry about it. Don't even trip. And anyway, so then that was my night in Miami. Had a great night. Great, quick little trip. 3 shows, 4 days, 1 little night off. On my way home, I saw a guy fall off a scooter. I was driving behind him early in the morning, going to the airport. Driving behind this guy, just standing on a red light on his scooter. I guess it was like a scooter. Some sort of a 2-wheeled, thing. I don't want to call it a motorcycle. It was like a thick thing. But anyway, he was sitting there at the red light, and he just toppled over like Joe Biden. And I was just behind him, and he didn't even get back on it. He just walked it over to the side of the road, embarrassed, and just kind of shook his head there. Miami Airport is the worst airport I've ever been to. It's really poorly marked, and I walked probably half an hour to my gate. It was truly something indefensible, inexplicable. Fuck you, the Miami airport. I got back home safe, pretty sound of mind, sound of heart, and that was it. That was the Miami trip. That was episode 28 of Laser Show, brought to you by Ryan O'Flanagan. I want to thank my sponsors, Webster of the Dictionary, and Ranger Rick magazines, and Cormac McCarthy. He himself sponsors me. He sends me money to say his name. Check out his stuff. And Hostess and Riddell helmets. In the Republican National Party, I want to thank all of my sponsors and all of you great listeners for everything that you guys do. Seriously. Thank you guys seriously so much for listening to this. And there's going to be another one soon. Just you wait. Oh, come see me in October. I got shows in October, man. I got a bunch of shows. Please come out. Please come out. You got to come out. I just bought my flights. You got to come out. I just bought my flights. I'm locked in. I got 3 funny bones. You know how the funny bones go. Laserheads. Uh-oh. So we'll see. A lot of upstate New York, and then a little Connecticut, Maine, Vermont, even a little Erie, PA. Please come out. Please come out. Tell a friend. And I'll see you guys out there. Thanks for listening to Laser Show. And pump up the volume, pump up the volume, pump up the volume, dance, dance.
Pump up the volume, pump up the volume, pump up the volume, dance, dance. Frío, frío, ya. Frío, frío, ya. Frío, frío, ya.